Since ancient times, humanity has turned to certain substances to alter its perception of reality. Among them, alcohol holds a unique place. Celebrated in festivities, used as medicine in the past, and seen as a symbol of pleasure and escape. Yet few ever stop to question its true nature. But what happens when we look at alcohol, not through the lens of entertainment, but through the spiritual dimension? The word al-kuhl, from which alcohol originates, has roots in medieval Arabic. It referred to a black powder used in alchemy. Some believe its hidden meaning was linked to separating the spirit from the body, a process that, ironically, mirrors what happens on a subtle level when someone consumes it. But what if alcohol doesn't just affect the mind and body, but also the soul? Could alcohol be a veil that clouds spiritual perception, preventing connection with higher realms? In this video, we'll explore the deep spiritual consequences of drinking alcohol. We'll dive into its mystical origins, its link to life energy, and how it impacts human consciousness. We'll analyze ancient texts warning about its effects, from esoteric teachings to the ancestral wisdom of various traditions. We'll also discuss how alcohol can be a barrier to inner growth, and how its use may open doors not only in the mind, but into dimensions few understand. Get ready for an exploration that may challenge everything you thought you knew about this substance. A knowledge hidden for centuries that once revealed could change your perception forever. Throughout history, alcohol has been both an elixir of the gods and a test for the human spirit. From ancient civilizations to modern times, it's been used in sacred rituals, celebrations, and even shamanic practices. But what did spiritual and philosophical traditions truly say about its use? The word al-kuhl referred to a fine powder in alchemy, but within esoteric circles, its meaning ran much deeper. It symbolized a substance capable of separating the essence of being. Alchemists, obsessed with turning lead into gold, knew that certain elements could disturb the balance between body and soul, weakening the mind's control over the physical realm. In spiritual alchemy, refining the soul required purity of mind, body, and spirit. Any substance that disrupted this balance was seen as a barrier to enlightenment. Could it be that liquid alcohol serves the same destructive purpose as al-kuhl in ancient rites? Many great spiritual traditions have held an ambiguous view of alcohol. While some used it in rituals, others warned strongly against it. In Buddhism, the fifth precept teaches that intoxicants cloud the mind and create negative karma, pulling the practitioner away from spiritual awakening. In Hinduism, although the Vedic texts mention soma as a sacred drink, ordinary alcohol is seen as an obstacle to spiritual ascension. In Islam, the Quran is clear: alcohol is a tool that leads humanity astray. It's considered a work of Satan, for it clouds judgment and weakens the connection to the divine. In Christianity, while wine appears in the Bible, especially at the Last Supper, many sects condemn its abuse. They link its misuse to sin and the loss of control over the soul. In shamanic traditions, although certain hallucinogenic plants are used for spiritual purposes, alcohol is rarely part of purification or spirit connection rituals. In fact, it's believed that alcohol opens portals that attract low vibrational entities. Esoteric teachings speak of the energy body and the vibrational fields surrounding us. Alcohol is believed to disrupt the harmony of these fields, weakening our natural protection from external influences. In states of intoxication, consciousness becomes fragmented, willpower fades, and the astral body is left vulnerable to outside energies. Could this be why in some cultures alcoholic drinks are referred to as spirits? From ancient sages to the world's most influential spiritual traditions, the message seems clear. Alcohol is not just a physical substance, but a spiritual disconnector. What we drink doesn't just impact the body, it shapes our consciousness and our bond with the universe. Across many cultures, alcohol has been described as a solvent of the spirit, deeply affecting our vital energy and awareness. In this section, we'll explore alcohol's esoteric effects through a metaphysical and spiritual lens, revealing its true impact on the soul. In spiritual studies, everything in the universe has a vibration or energetic frequency. Elevated emotions like love, gratitude, and peace vibrate high. Fear, anger, and attachment vibrate low. Practices like meditation and fasting raise our vibration, while intoxicants tend to lower it. Alcohol, by its nature, slows down the vibrational frequency of the human energy field. That's why when someone drinks excessively, their aura weakens, leaving the astral body exposed. This vibrational drop creates a state where dense emotions like sadness, anger, or confusion take over, pulling the person away from their spiritual center. Ancient mystical traditions taught that humans possess several subtle bodies, including the astral body, which carries consciousness through non-physical realms. When someone consumes large amounts of alcohol, their astral body becomes unstable, allowing external energies to slip in. It's said that certain low astral entities feed off dense emotions and find intoxicated states a doorway into the human psyche. This is why, after a night of heavy drinking, many people feel empty, depressed, or anxious, as if something foreign has attached itself to their energy field. In some shamanic traditions, healers claim that negative spirits can temporarily possess a person through alcohol, making them act in ways they never would in a state of full awareness. There are documented cases of people doing things under the influence of alcohol that seem completely foreign to their sober selves. One of alcohol's most significant spiritual consequences is disconnection from the higher self, the wisest, most elevated part of our consciousness. When the physical body is intoxicated, the mind becomes clouded, and the inner voice fades into silence. This unconscious state blocks introspection, dulls intuition, and weakens our link to the divine. In yogic tradition, meditation and control of prana, or vital energy, are essential to reach enlightenment. But alcohol interferes with this process, disrupting energy flow and blocking the chakras, the body's spiritual centers. The third eye chakra, ajna, seat of intuition and spiritual vision, becomes dim and disconnected. The solar plexus chakra, manipura, which governs willpower and self-discipline, is weakened, making it easier to lose control over one's actions. The throat chakra, vishuddha, responsible for truth and communication, becomes distorted, leading many to say things under alcohol's influence they later regret. When we disconnect from the higher self, we lose the ability to act with wisdom and discernment, becoming driven by impulses and unconscious desires. From a karmic perspective, every action we take affects our spiritual evolution. If alcohol leads us to act without control, we create karma we'll eventually have to balance. Irresponsible actions under the influence can have consequences that last far beyond a hangover. Broken promises, hurtful words, or aggression can create karmic ties with others, bonds we may need to resolve in this life or the next. Long-term alcohol abuse can become a karmic prison, repeating cycles of self-destruction and spiritual disconnection. From the karmic view, alcohol doesn't just harm the body. It can delay our evolution on the path of awakening. Esoteric teachings reveal that our reality is a reflection of our inner state. Clear awareness helps us see life with lucidity and recognize the energetic patterns behind our experiences. But alcohol introduces a fog that clouds this perception. Under its influence, the mind becomes more vulnerable to illusions and deception. The ability to tell truth from falsehood fades. In the practice of inner alchemy, this confusion is seen as a form of self-deception, one that distances the soul from its mission in this lifetime. Mystics describe spiritual awakening as the lifting of veils from our perception. To seek truth, one must cultivate a clear mind, a pure heart, and a strong spirit. Alcohol works in the opposite direction, creating more veils and weakening our connection to universal wisdom. The concept of soul fragmentation appears in many mystical traditions. It teaches that trauma, unconscious behavior, and ignoring our inner voice can fracture the unity of the self. When someone drinks excessively, moments of blackout or loss of control are common. These gaps aren't just memory lapses. They represent temporary tears in the energy field. Each episode of intoxication can further weaken the soul's cohesion, leaving the person feeling disconnected from themselves over time. In many ancient cultures, shamans and mystics spoke of retrieving lost soul fragments as a vital step in spiritual healing. Those who have abused alcohol for years often describe a lingering emptiness, as if a piece of themselves is missing. From an esoteric view, this isn't just metaphor. It's an energetic reality that calls for deep spiritual reintegration. One of the universe's core laws is the law of attraction. the idea that our vibration determines what we draw into our lives. Alcohol distorts that vibration, tuning us to lower frequencies. When someone drinks often, chaos seems to follow. More conflict, unstable relationships, and unexpected problems. This isn't coincidence. It's resonance with discordant energies. The great sages have always taught that a harmonious life begins with purity in thought, emotion, and action. Substances that alter consciousness disrupt this balance, pulling us away from our highest purpose. Esoteric traditions speak of spiritual guardians, beings of light who protect and guide souls on their path. But these guardians work in harmony with human awareness and will. When a person drinks excessively and loses control of their mind and emotions, these luminous presences can no longer intervene as strongly. In that vulnerable state, the person becomes more open to external influences, dense energies, destructive thoughts, or entities from lower astral realms. That's why many ancient cultures viewed alcohol as a substance that weakens divine connection. They believed the spirit must remain grounded and centered to receive guidance and protection along its journey. Up to this point, we've explored alcohol's spiritual consequences: soul fragmentation, distorted perception, attraction of dense energies, and disconnection from the higher self. But esoteric wisdom doesn't only warn, it also offers tools for healing and regaining spiritual clarity. Next, we'll explore practical and spiritual methods to cleanse the energy field, restore the connection with higher consciousness, and strengthen inner will. Ancient traditions have long taught that purity of body reflects purity of soul. When the body has been weakened by substances, it's essential to begin a process of physical and mental detoxification. Conscious fasting allows the body to eliminate accumulated toxins and return to its natural balance. In many traditions, fasting is seen as a way to cleanse not just the body, but also the mind and spirit. Detoxifying herbs like milk thistle, dandelion, and nettle can support liver healing, the organ most affected by alcohol. Solarized water, drinking water exposed to sunlight in a blue glass container, is said to recharge vital energy and clear harmful energetic imprints. Mental clarity meditation, focused on the breath, helps calm the mind and regain control over thoughts. Automatic writing, journaling thoughts and emotions, helps release mental blocks and unconscious patterns. Conscious silence, spending time without distractions or external stimuli, strengthens the connection to the inner voice. Alcohol weakens and fractures both the aura and the chakras. To restore energy flow and regain balance, it's essential to heal the subtle body. Salt and herb baths, soaking in water with sea salt and plants like rosemary or lavender, help remove accumulated negative energies. Grounding exercises, like walking barefoot on soil or grass, reinforce the bond with Earth's energy and stabilize the energetic field. Sacred fire cleansing, lighting a candle or burning incense with the intention of purification, is a practice found in many shamanic traditions. High-frequency sounds such as mantras, Tibetan bowls, or solfeggio tones can realign chakras and repair aura imbalances. When alcohol disrupts the connection to the higher self, it becomes vital to reestablish that bond with the divine essence. This requires consistent introspection and spiritual openness. Prayer and devotion, regardless of belief system, elevate sincere intention and restore sacred communication. Working with sacred symbols, like the flower of life or the Sri Yantra, helps align consciousness with higher realms. Light cord visualization, imagining a golden beam connecting the crown chakra to the infinite, is a powerful technique for restoring spiritual connection. For those who've used alcohol as an escape or social habit, it's essential to rebuild their relationship with the substance and with their true identity. Techniques for inner transformation include power affirmations like, "My body is a temple of pure energy," or "I am in harmony with my true essence," which help anchor new beliefs into the subconscious. Changing environments and habits, surrounding yourself with people and spaces that support awareness and growth, is key to sustaining the shift. Self-healing practices like energy therapy, conscious hypnosis, and transpersonal psychology can help uncover the deeper roots behind alcohol use. True spiritual transformation isn't just about quitting alcohol. It's about reclaiming sovereignty over your own consciousness. The vital force once scattered by drinking can now be used to expand awareness and align with your soul's purpose. The path of healing is a return to inner power, a journey of reconnection with ancestral wisdom and the light that dwells within. Now that we've explored ways to heal alcohol's effects on both energy and spirit, it's time to close this journey with a powerful conclusion and a call for reflection. This journey through alcohol's spiritual consequences has revealed an undeniable truth. This substance doesn't just alter the mind and body, it deeply impacts our energy, our soul, and our connection to the divine. Across history, various spiritual traditions have warned about al-kuhl, not just as an intoxicating liquid, but as a veil that clouds perception and disconnects us from our purest essence. Yet the real teaching isn't just about alcohol's danger. It's about choosing clarity over confusion, awareness over illusion, and elevation over stagnation. If there's one message this journey leaves us with, it's that the answer isn't found in prohibition or fear, but in deep understanding. Every human being has the freedom to choose what they consume and how they nourish their soul. But with that freedom comes great responsibility. The responsibility to be aware of the consequences of each choice. Spiritual awakening isn't about denying the material world, but about learning to move through it without falling into its traps. It's possible to live with joy, connection, and purpose without relying on substances that fragment energy and weaken the spirit. If you've made it this far, it's because something deep within you is seeking clarity, balance, and expanded consciousness. And that is the true key: returning to yourself, reconnecting with your power, and vibrating at your highest frequency. The choice is yours. You have the power to transform your energy, restore your essence, and walk toward a higher version of yourself. If this message resonated with you, share your experience in the comments. You never know who might need to read it.